I always hate these things when they're on the stand. Well, I got to move around a little bit too. I'm Bob Parker. I'm running for Congress here in the 8th District. I live about 100 miles north of here up in Texas County. I've farmed up there since 1978. And started with a cattle operation up there, and I turned that into a dairy farm in the early 80s, and we milked about 100 cows more or less for quite a few years. And my lovely wife Karen is here with me in that red t-shirt, and she was my high school sweetheart, and we've been together a long time, raised a couple of girls up there in Texas County. We're very proud of them. But, we're working folks. We're not professional politicians. We're down here, we live in this district, we conduct our business in this district, and frankly, we're just really tired of what we're seeing out of Washington, D.C. When we had our dairy farm, we milked and worked hard, and we got very concerned about our property rights and the regulations that were impacting our farm and our business. And I got involved in property rights issues, and got involved in the Property Rights Congress that Don Wells talked about there. And I've actually emceed that last year and worked hard. And some of the things that I've worked on, we worked real hard on that animal ID program to try to stop that program where they want to force you to register your farm, chip all your animals, and then do all kinds of paperwork and report that. He's nodding his head, he's aware of that. Because when you study that program, you realize that will be devastating to small farmers and ranchers. So we had meetings all across the state on our own dime, trying to educate people about that program, did a lot of writing about that program, just working hard, trying to save what we love and cherish. That's our farms and our jobs here in this district and all across this country, and people who are out there working, producing food. Worked real hard on that, but that's still coming at us. We got that pushed back, but they're in the final rulemaking on that program again in the Food Safety Act, so that's not over. That's one of the things I would like to fight in Washington. I would like to stop that program. We don't need those kind of programs. Another thing I got involved with was the sand and gravel issue, where farmers can't take sand and gravel out of their creeks. They're regulated out of their creeks, and it impacts the cost of your concrete you buy and a whole bunch of other things. And that's something else we worked hard to get common sense regulations. But once we got out of that process, after a couple of years fighting that, they just continued. These agencies just continue to spew out regulations that slowly, keep it where we can't get in our creeks and get our sand and gravel and benefit from those things without a whole bunch of regulations. And frankly, I'm running for office because nobody listens to us anymore. When they don't listen, we call Washington, D.C. and try to get help from people. And they sound great when you talk to them, but when it comes down to fighting for us, they're really not there for us. I'm a Christian. I became a Christian when I was 18 years old. It radically changed this old country boy's life, and I've loved the Lord, served the Lord my whole life. That's a huge part of my life, and I think that's a huge part of this country and where we came from as a country and our faith in God. And I think we've lost that in this country. I think we need to get that back. And I'm not ashamed of my faith. One of the great things about this country, though, is, we can't force people to be believers and be Christians. The wonderful thing about this country is you have the freedom to believe what you want here, don't you? And we're unlike so many countries around the world where they really restrict what you can believe and do, but America has that religious freedom. And I think that's great. Not everybody has to agree with me, but I want to be able to say and talk about the things that are important to me and have that open debate. We are losing in this country the freedoms that we cherish every day. Obamacare taking over our medical system, our health care. We need to stop that program, defund that program. I work hard to do that. I want to lead the fight on ending Obamacare and getting back to free market solutions to our medical problems, where we can buy insurance across state lines and other things like that we can do to let the free market work. Another thing that concerns me a lot is Social Security. A lot of you here are on Social Security. All of us have paid into Social Security. Look what they've done to the money. They've raided the fund. It's not there. And with the spending, the massive government that they're doing right now, the money's not going to be there for you pretty soon. And we need to try to keep that solvent. That's a very important issue for me. My parents are on Social Security. I'll be on it someday. and the way it's going, it's not going to be there for you. We have a government that is too big, it doesn't respond to our problems, and now they want to bail out our banks, our corrupt banks, bail out industry, create industries like Solyndra. I just think that's not the role of government. I think the government, needs to get out of the way and let the private sector produce those jobs that have always been the backbone and the engine of the wonderful prosperity that we enjoy in this country. We have people in Washington, D.C. that are completely out of touch with how we think and who we are and what we value and cherish. And you can see it every day. And it just gets worse every day. We're all horrified just about every day watching the nightly news. I've got a flyer on the back table that talks about me and a lot of difference between me and Joanne Emerson. We're running against Joanne Emerson in the August 7th primary. Joanne Emerson isn't here tonight. She doesn't have a representative here. She refuses to debate me all across this district. I've asked for debate many times. I got 35% of the vote in the last primary I ran 2 years ago. I got 4 times more than any opponent has ever gotten against Mrs. Emerson. Where is she? You remember a town hall where you could go and ask her questions? I want to be here and represent you, and that's what I'm asking to do tonight. I ask you for your support and your vote. Thank you very much. God bless you.